Welcome back, folks. MacT here, and of course I have my filter minder setting here, and it is at 80%, and according to everything I go by, at 80%, that means the filter needs to be cleaned or changed. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and hit the top button here and reset it. And as you can see, it is now reset. But we have to remove the air filter. Now this air filter was installed October of 2015. That means I have 98,000 miles on this air filter according to my records, because I am at 205,600 miles essentially, and I installed it 98,000 miles ago. So this being August of 2017, it is time to take this thing out and give it a good washing, and then of course reinstall it for my drive tomorrow, because what I am having a problem with is air. Yes, it's just not as peppy as it used to be. So let's see if we can go from drinking from a straw to a wide open throttle and get this thing cleaned up and ready for the next drive. Let's go ahead and pop this thing up, pull this filter out, get this plastic piece off of there. We'll just go ahead and disconnect the MAF to give us a little bit more room to take and unplug that, and then we can pull this filter out. Ooh, look how dirty that thing is. Let's check this filter out to see what it looks like. Doesn't look too terribly bad. It's up here in the sunlight, but let's see what it looks like on the other side. Holy cow, check that out. Look how dirty that thing is. That is full of garbage. So I'm going to say that this filter definitely needs a good cleaning. So let's go ahead and wash her up so we can put it back in. Red on this side, white on this side. Let's get her cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and use some super clean so we can go and clean this thing. So just going to dip it in there. See what kind of garbage we can get out of that. Holy cow. Wow. It's already getting clean. I don't know if you guys can see this, but wow. Look at that water. See that stuff? Look how dirty this filter was. That filter had a lot of garbage in it. So let's go ahead and clean it out a little bit. Again. Look at that stuff. Holy cow. That's some nasty water. Look at this. Wow. I don't think you guys can see that. Look at that. See that mud? don't know if you guys can see that. Check that out. See that? That came out of the filter. That came out of the filter. I want this filter clean. And I'm still getting stuff out of it. Holy cow. You see that water? Look at that. Look at that water. See that? That's absolutely crazy. All right. This is wash number 3. Let's see what we get out of this. Go ahead and give her a final rinse. Now, all we have to do is let it air dry. Should be dry by morning. I'll go ahead and reinstall it, and off we go. Well, there we go. I'm going to let that set and air dry overnight, and before I leave, I'll go ahead and do some video on the installation and start up with it, but we'll just let it dry overnight. Got the filter all clean inside and out, so we'll go ahead and put it back in. I got to do about 400 miles tomorrow, so we'll go ahead and get this filter back in there. Got that on there. Snap it all back in. That one's hard. There we go. That filter minder is reset. Can't forget this. There we go. Didn't want to go in there. Now let's give it a start. I don't know if y'all knew this, but you put the key in, and when you go to start it, you don't have to hold the key. You just do this, and it starts. Got everything going. Running good. Filter minder set up there perfect. Nice and open, so we got some good breathing going on. So we'll test her out on the road tomorrow and see what she runs like at Wide Open Throttle, and of course just driving down the road, and check the fuel mileage out also. Well, I got everything running good here. Early morning run about 5 a.m. I jumped in and got it. The air filter, of course, was not completely dry. It was damp yet, and that ended up setting the traction control and advanced track lights due to the MAF sensor sucking in a little bit of moisture and not liking that at all. And I drove about 100 miles on it till I got to my first stop for a break, and then took key off, restarted, codes went away, everything was good. Mileage, not real good right now because I had probably an hour and a half of idle time on this tank of gas. So with idle time and everything, I'm running 22.9, 23 miles per gallon on this tank so far, and I've only used 3/4 of a tank for a 300-mile run, I think it is. Let me check what it is. Well, 200 miles. Got 200 miles so far on it, so not doing too bad. But the power has changed dramatically. I get plenty of the old-fashioned torque steer now. when I jump on it, the wide open throttle response is, you know, back to its old self. So, you know, lesson learned. I went with the filter minder, and the filter minder did work. At 80% where it tripped at, you know, it was affecting performance, and that's what it was designed. When it starts to affect performance, it gets to that 80%, and that's exactly where filter minder says to change or clean the filter at the 80% mark. So is spot on as far as having, you know, me change the filter. And as you saw in the video, that filter was horrendously dirty. Lots of soot in it and dirt or whatever it was. So it did its job. It collected all the garbage that could have went into the engine. But lesson learned, what will I do? I will most likely change the filter at the 50% mark just to keep my horsepower up and at wide open throttle. So 50%, what is 50%? It depends on your driving conditions. That's the key to the whole thing. So, you know, what do we do? Stupid fly. But anyway, I think that's what we have from this lesson. Everything's running good now. Plenty of power, so I'm enjoying the day. Just heading home right now. I got about, holy cow, what time is it? I should be home about 6:30 tonight, and it's 5 o'clock now. So I got about another hour and a half to drive. But that is it, folks. This is MACT, and this is, of course, running my air filter to 98,000 miles and then cleaning it and monitoring via filter minder. So if nothing else, learn the lessons here. Air filters can last a long time, but you do pay a price at reduction of horsepower at the top end. Cruising down the highway did not affect anything. So, you know, lessons learned on that, so you know what to expect. But this is MACTFORDEDGE. By all means, join up here on the Facebook group. Yes, join the Facebook group, get your questions answered, and also meet some really neat people. This group is growing and having a great time, so I can't stress that enough. And then, of course, YouTube. Yes, subscribe on that YouTube channel, MACTFORDEDGE, and like the videos. And, of course, if you feel so, toss a little donation out there my way. Help with these videos and the processes that I go through. But with that being said, my feet hit the floor today, and I'm, of course, having a great day because I want you to have a great day. So, that being said, Mercy Girl's got a couple of one-liners she's going to toss at you. Yes, don't forget the Band of One. Yes, give Kevin a little bit of thumbs up on his music also. And, of course, stand by for any bonus footage I may put at the end of weird things that I do. But anyway, somewhere in Iowa, I'm heading home.